Hi guys, as you can see it's gloriously sunny outside and I'm recording this on the full moon in Virgo. I would have liked to go live but I don't have enough followers yet. But you know, maybe we can change that. So I wanted to pull a reading literally on the day of the full moon and share that and just see where we go. I just like impulsively decided to do it, and I wanted to give us like a bit of a new view of like the beautiful outdoors. I was just like, my garden looks lovely today because it's sunny. I've got my so you can see it. I've got my rainbow moonstone and obsidian necklace on today. Moonstone because it's a full moon. And rainbow one because rainbow is quite like a Pisces vibe when we're in Pisces season because it's got a bit shimmery. And the moon is connected to Pisces as well. It's all the things that are hidden. And yeah, the full moon is in Virgo, so I'm getting grounded with my obsidian. I've got my rings. So Mercury went into Pisces yesterday. Citrine is a good mercurial stone. And my Botswana agate one, that's very Virgo-y because it connects to the root chakra and it's very smoky, earthy. Yeah, so I was going to start with the Heart of the Fairy Oracle by Brian Froud. Brian Froud is such a great artist that I've loved since I was about 16. I did an entire illustration project when I went to art college. And so because they're quite like earthy, naturey vibes, I just wanted to start with those. So I'm going to flip the camera and you can get a nice view of my glittery table and cards better, but I just wanted to open the video with yours truly. I'm going to drop a link in as well for if you're interested in any crystal jewellery, because I make all of this. Anyway, let's get on with it. Woo, there's Finn. Hi Finn! That didn't quite work out with the flipping the camera, did it? Oh well. I don't claim to be professional. There we go, I think you can see. Bring a little bit closer. I'll have to maybe hold up some of the cards. So what is straight out, two of them. What is occurring on this full moon? Didn't even finish my sentence. Leaping out. We've got Spirit Dancer. Don't know if you can see that. Spirit Dancer. Freedom. That's what vibes I get instantly from that one. And a collection of pixies. Very nice. So I feel like, yeah, both of them are bringing quite a bit of freedom there. So Spirit Dancer, she's got this like massive crown of what looks like leaves and blossom. And it just kind of makes me think of like the emerging of spring. Can you see her crown of floral bloom? Beautiful. And I noticed as well that her heart chakra is really lit up with this like pure white light. So it suggests to me like maybe some healing of the heart chakra. Maybe we need like to refresh or renew our energy. And find some freedom in our heart space, some space to sort of, you know, when you're a child and you're out in nature and you're in like this expansive kind of lush environment in the wild. If you ever had the joys of sort of going into the countryside or growing up in the countryside as a child, or like frolicking in the woods as a child, I just get this sort of like innocence and that freedom and curiosity of like a fresh new adventure, fresh new start, and I totally love that. On these little collection of pixies, so I'll just try and zoom in on that a bit. Can you see? I'm having to do a balancing act to. Can you see his crown chakra seems to be lit up there, like the third eye and crown chakra just here. So I'm getting these kind of like emerging out of the dark. Like emerging out of the dark of winter, but in this kind of pixie, obviously it says pixies, but in this like pixie type way of like they're mystical but they're mischievous. So I'm just getting like this sort of emerging out of the dark of the winter and finding our light on both of them, that they're quite like lit up and their little hands have got these specks of light coming out of the fingers. So I think, you know, they're just like, we need to shine our brightest at the moment. We need a fresh start to really shine our brightest. So there are two sort of overall energies, my little woodland creatures. You know, that sort of innocent playfulness coming up as well, you know, like Virgo represents the Virgin. They can be quite dirty-minded, I will say, but they are represented by the Virgin because they like things to be quite, it's that sort of seeking perfection, always wanting to improve on themselves and things, like the Virgin is kind of like this perfect, pristine kind of thing, and the Virgos can be quite sort of cleanly and they like it neat and sort of untouched. So give me 3 cards from the Lightseers deck. I'm feeling the Lightseers today. There is a bee on the floor outside. I might actually have to go and rescue this bee. I'm going to pull 3 cards and I'm going to go and rescue the bee, guys, because it's like lying on its back looking really crippled. That one. Ooh. So that's a whole wad, but that one's the one that's fallen into my hands. Ooh. It showed me fully what it is. I feel like this one off the top wants me to pull it as well. Oh, how funny is that? We've got the King of Wands in reverse. So we had a few reversals the other day. So the King of Wands in the upright, obviously it's a fire sign card. And it's quite a strong, bold, out there, Aries kind of energy. It's that very sort of I am energy, quite masculine energy. We do also have the lion on there as well, so the Leo element is sort of symbolised there. We've got the 8 of Cups in reverse. So usually the Eight of Cups, it's about emotional endings and walking away from things. But when it's in reverse, are we walking away? So it's a sort of need to release something, but when we've got it tipped into the upright, into the reverse, there might be some sort of holding on when we should be walking away. And what I said was really funny is we've got the moon, and if that isn't a super Piscean card, I don't know what is really, because she's underwater, and Pisces obviously is the two fish, and it's a very Neptunian card, is the moon. And we've got this, the white dog and the black dog, sort of the balancing of night and day, two seemingly sort of opposing forces, masculine and feminine. Then we've got her sort of trapped below the surface looking up at the moon. So maybe there's something below the surface that that's hidden, that needs to come to surface. The need to breathe. I'm going to pause this now and go and get this bee. I just thought I'd show you the bee. Oh dear. It's a very, very active bee all of a sudden. I'm just going to try and keep him on the leaf. There we go. There he is. I'm just going to go and put him somewhere kind of warm. I think it's a bit frosty for a bee out there. Okay, I'm back. I was getting very distracted by the poor helpless bee riding around in clear plain sight of my reading. So I've stuck it on a flower now, I've stuck it on a primrose. I'm wondering if it woke up yesterday because it's quite mild and came out from underground, and then it's frozen over this morning and it's only just starting to melt, and so I'm wondering if it's just kind of struggling a bit with the changeable weather. Anyway, nature rescue performed. Hopefully it's all right, because it did fall off the leaf there for a moment. It was still very active, it'll be fine, I'm sure. Yeah, so back to the reading. The King of Wands in reverse. So normally it's sort of like he's like really successful and flamboyant and confident. But when he's tipped into the reverse, it's almost like frustration and maybe a lack of patience. But I'm getting just like an overall feeling of frustration. I know I've been feeling a bit frustrated with a lot of the astrological vibes we've had going on. I'm finding this sort of Virgo full moon quite a lot of tension surrounding it. And, Virgos do like to be successful. And so maybe there's just some sort of energy coming up that's making us impatient and therefore frustrated, and we just need to kind of chill a bit, because we are in Pisces sun season where it's just kind of go with the flow. And so this, obviously the Eight of Cups is normally about walking away, but based on that kind of frustration, maybe we walk away from something and then regret that we've walked away from it, if it's in the reverse. Maybe we sort of disappoint ourselves with the choice of walking away. Or maybe it's about a lack of acceptance of a situation, or a sort of escapism, because again it is quite a Pisces-y, watery card, and there is a lot of escapism surrounding Neptune, which is what's coming up in the next card, that Neptune vibe with the moon, what's hidden. But it is in the upright here, so it's about trusting our dreams and trusting our subconscious. And I think not getting like overwhelmed by the lack of progress maybe that we are experiencing in the 3D, if that makes sense. By the 3D I mean like real life, you know, the more Virgo concepts of life, like the routine, the structure, the daily slog, like what we've been putting our efforts into, what we've been serving, what we've been putting our energy into. Maybe we feel like it's just not, we're not making progress at the rate that we should, and that's frustrating us. But I think there is some like hidden magic in it. And, you know, I think it's saying sort of don't give up on yourself too soon. Release these sort of fears of frustration, but don't give up on yourself and walk away from your dreams. Don't walk away from, you know, your passions. Don't walk away from situations entirely and turn your back on what could be, just because the way you're going about it now isn't successful potentially, or isn't going at the pace that you would like it to. It doesn't mean that it won't work out in some other way. Doesn't mean the universe isn't going to give it to you in some other way. It doesn't have to be this structured thing. And so release how you're going about it. Maybe release the way you're going about it. Release the energy that you are in when going about certain tasks, or the actions you're taking, and rethink maybe your strategy on that, or just let go of a certain strategy. But don't give up on the actual dream, because it might just be that you need a fresh outlook, a new way of doing it, and maybe you're killing off your dreams by going about things in this kind of frustrated, impatient way. You know, find that inner child kind of, I know that's a bit like, ugh, inner child. But you know, most of our sort of passions and dreams, they come from like our creative mind. And you know, when we first have an idea, it's this fresh, curious little creature of like playfulness, like we're playing around with an idea. And like when we first have a concept or something, and when it's in its first creative stages, that's where all like the passion is. And sometimes when we have to go into the like regimented, actually going about doing it, creating the structure of how we go about it, and it's not instantly paying off, that's when we get stuck here. But we want to stay in this playful kind of energy, and we want to keep, you know, emerging with our intuition, with our intuition open. And this card is very much about our intuition and just trusting in our feelings to guide us. So I might take 3 more glittery ones in the spring weight, because we've got a lot of that sort of see if we can get a bit more of this spring dancer vibe about us. I think I've got my deck upside down. I'm not going to start off that way. I've already got 2 in reverse. I'm not going to make it happen. I'm putting my cards the wrong way up. And that's just our bottom one that's the wrong way up. That one. 6 of Swords. Don't know if you can see the glittery in this light. I'm sure you've seen it on some of my other videos if you can't know. What I do like about this one is they've got the rainbow. So the 6 of Swords, it's about forward movement and a sort of, it's like an acceptance of where we are. See, they've got all the swords with them. They're taking them with them on this journey, but they are setting off on a new journey. And you can see on here, maybe you can, maybe you can't, you've got the ripples on this side of the boat. Whoa, it's so reflective that I don't think you can see it. And on this side of the boat, it's calmer waters. So we've got that kind of new journey and setting off on a new journey. So maybe, you know, we release an outcome and we set off away from these rough waters that these swords have maybe created. But we learn, you know, we've learned from them. We've learned how to sort of not go about it. Yeah, so let's take another one. Let's grab the whole deck. But yeah, it's sort of like spiritual journeys. So like learning from it. Moving on, moving away from something, but learning from it. Which is why the swords are still in the boat. Woo! Okay, that one. Oh wow. Star. And it cut at that point. So, oh, and the King of Swords. Okay, so I've got some Aquarius, very clear Aquarius stuff coming up there. I'd like to know what is in Aquarius at the moment. I can't remember off the top of my head. We have got some, is it like Mars and Venus? Hang on while I just find my AstroCal thing. Right, I've changed the camera angle because I realised it was completely out of focus because I keep playing around with the focus on it. So yeah, as you can see there, Venus and Mars entered Aquarius on the 13th and 16th of Feb. So that also shines a bit of a light on that King of Wands, doesn't it? Mars energies, fire signs. But where was I? So yeah, Mars in Aquarius and Venus in Aquarius currently, and we've got Aquarius come up on the table with the King of Swords and the Star. They're both very Aquarius. I mean, the Star literally has, you know, the water bearer on it. And the Star is very much about sort of wishes being fulfilled and dreams again. yeah, so keep the faith, and know you're on the right path. And it's funny that we got that on top of the Eight of Cups, which is about, which I said, was don't give up on your dreams, and don't be disappointed if you're not currently getting it. Like, don't walk away in frustration if things aren't looking to turn out the way you planned at the moment. Don't give up on the dream, because it's likely that there is going to be some sort of gratification and some answering of this desire, some sort of fulfillment here. It just might not be the way you think, because the universe loves giving it to us like that. And it's got, these we've learned these sort of spiritual lessons. We're on this sort of spiritual voyage to move into this new beginning. We've just had to learn some lessons maybe about the way we've gone about it, and not getting frustrated and impatient, and keep believing is what I'm getting from that one. Don't be disappointed. Don't give up too soon in frustration and impatience, and disappoint yourself, because there is something there. And we've got the King of Swords. So yeah, air sign, communication. We've got Mercury conjunct the Sun. That happened yesterday. So, powerful communication coming in. Very direct, very logical. So maybe a bit cutting in some ways. Maybe it's on top of the moon and what's sort of hidden. But maybe this is, there's two ways I could take this. That there's a clear message from your intuition that you're, maybe you've been ignoring. And the King of Swords is like, oi, listen up, and like literally going to poke you with a sword. Oi, oi. I mean, hopefully not so hard it kills us. But, really clear message. So stop trying to avoid it and escape it. Something is coming through here, and stop running away from it. Or it could possibly be something to do with that mercurial kind of energy coming through. Maybe something's going to be revealed. Maybe something that you've been waiting on, a message or an outcome you've been waiting on, is going to suddenly come in and be revealed. Or maybe you're going to suddenly reveal something. That's just made my mind go to dirty places, sorry. I want a dragon card. I'm going to close this out with a dragon and an everyday witch, because I always cannot resist the everyday witch. But yeah, I'm going Year of the Dragon cards. I've only used them once. I've not had them long, so I've not had much chance, but let's go for it. This one. Amiga Dragon. Harness the divine feminine power of creation, intention, hold your vision, birth the higher conscious. Wowzers. We had that one come out before. It's literally the same one. I had two come out last time I used them, and this is the same one of them. And if that isn't a similar message to that, then I don't really know what is. Let's just zoom in on that so you can see them. So we've got the beautiful mystical egg of a new life going on here. We are in spring, and I was talking about that kind of keeping that fresh hope of new beginnings, and here we've got new beginnings, and it says intention, hold your vision, the star, and hold your vision, the higher consciousness, the moon, that intuition, and these little guys. I spoke about their crown and third eye chakra being lit up and them shining bright. You know, the third eye chakra is our intuition. Do I need to take an everyday witch? I said I was going to, so I will. But I think the dragon has answered our call. But I do like an everyday witch because they might even do a little bit out of the book from the everyday witch. Because it sort of, it gives you like a little spell and stuff. Not a spell, but like a little, sometimes gives you an activity that you can do, which is quite cute. So let's do one of those, and I'll read you the. I just normally read the cards without ever reading anything out of the book. But I just sort of say what I say, and like with my knowledge of what I do know about cards. This one. Transform and change. Oh, look at the little cat's nose touching. Little nose bump with the cats there. That's super cute. And look, he is glittering, and he's got this butterfly of the transformation coming in there. Cat's even got a little butterfly on its tail. He's got his broom. He's embarking on a new beginning. He's walking into the light, proudly holding his broom, and he's going off to transform. So I love the little sparkle things that are coming off of the trail of that little butterfly there. That's going to be him leaving a trail of sparkles on his broom in a bit. Yeah, so what I was saying about, I don't normally read out the books, but I think that's quite a clear message, so you don't really need to, but I do like to read the, you'll see, I'll just read it and then you'll see why I like it. Which one is it? Transformation and change, so I think that's going to be an air card. Let's have a look for it. Transform and change. There is no growth without change. Let's focus on the book a little bit there. There's no growth without change, but change can be scary. It means opening up to something new and different, and often involves taking a risk, something many of us aren't comfortable with doing. But all of life is about transformation. We're born as babies, grow to be toddlers, then teens, until we transform into adults. Spiritual journey, transformation. Eventually, if we're lucky, we continue to transform from young into old, from foolish into wise, from newbie witches into wise old crones and sages. Life is all about transforming ourselves, recreating who we are as we grow and learn and move from who we once were into who we are going to be. You can fight it or you can embrace it, but transformation is going to happen. Isn't it better to willingly become a butterfly than to struggle to stay in a chrysalis forever? Action. Take some time to think about where you are in your life right now and where you want to be. Where you want to end up, sorry. What transformations need to happen along the way for you to reach your goals, and what are you doing to encourage and support those transformations? What do you need to do differently? So I feel like that is the Eight of Cups, doing the journey differently so that we don't end up disappointed. Ooh, what's that one? goes back in the right order. And also, you know, being on this journey and like not going back to this frustrated energy, like not going into this frustrated King of Wands energy, you know, just be there for the journey. Maybe you need to do the journey differently. You need to change your attitude maybe about the journey. Divination. This card is either a confirmation that you're on the right path to successful transformation, in which case be sure to give yourself a huge huzzah and appreciate all the hard work you've put in, or a suggestion that you need to be looking more closely at what you need to do to get there. You will almost certainly know which one. If you have just completed a major task or transformation, take time to celebrate your accomplishments before you move on to the next phase of growth and change. And then we've got the magic. So to soothe the progress of transformation, sometimes it's necessary to let go of old patterns or situations that no longer work for you. Just tapping the relevant cards there, because of what I said about them. Just like butterfly crawling out of a chrysalis, there are parts of where you came from that have to be discarded and left behind in order to move on to new ways of being. If you want to do magical work to help with the progress, go outside, especially if there's a breeze or wind, and sit in front of an open window, a small fan or anything that will blow air on you. If you do either of those things, then move around dancing or jumping. What did I say? We need to frolic in the childish kind of wonder of like a child exploring the nature. Dance, spirit dancer. Dance, spirit dance. I keep losing my place, sorry, it's just taking longer than it should. Move around, dance. Light a sage smudge stick and let the air waft around and past you. Visualize what it is you need to be letting go of being blown away with the air and the smoke. Lovely! Wow, you know what you need to do. Go and frolic in the nature if you can. Or maybe, you know, do a meditation where you feel like you are frolicking in the nature. I might go and do my yoga outside today because it's nice and sunny. So I'm going to go and frolic in the nature and dance, spirit dance. Right. Bye, guys. Right, so I might go out into the garden later and do my yoga outdoors and be my own little spirit dancer and embrace the vibes of reading that way. I did post a yoga class yesterday for this sort of full moon energy based on the last reading that I did, last tarot reading that I did. But the meditation in that might actually work quite well for this transformation and change card. As I talk about some sort of blossoming and rooting and cleansing with the sea and stuff like that at the end of that. So maybe you want to check that out. So I'll drop the link in the description for that class as well. And I might even record me doing some moon salutations in the garden to get my spirit dancer on, and I might post that as a short or something. So we'll see. Namaste. Happy full moon. Mwah.